Hi, my name is Koi Sway. I'm a singer-songwriter from Orlando, Florida.
Who is Koi?
Um, I think on my journey, I guess you can use the quote like everything I'm not made me everything I am because I've been listening to Graduation recently. Just like revisiting that project, I think that's one of my favorites. I don't know. I just feel like he was spending a lot in that, and I can relate to it. Being true to like your most authentic self, whatever lane that you fit into. For me, it's definitely with my music. Like I use my life experiences. I mean, I feel like even that is bringing me closer to like my true self.
In using your life experiences in your music and writing process, how important to you is self expression?
It's everything. Like that's what I'm doing it for, to express myself.
What got you into writing and making music? Whether it's like a moment or was it just something you started and then just kept going with?
I always wanted to. To be honest, it runs in my family on my dad's side. Like my grandfather, he had a band called UFO. He was a drummer. My dad, he rapped and he produces. He does everything. So like even my mom used to always complain like when she was pregnant with me because sisters is eating and stuff. They'll just be in there jamming out.
Mm.
So that was one of her complaints. But I feel like it definitely transferred to me because I've been singing since I could talk. And when I was 12, I was like, okay, I don't want to sing everybody else's songs. I want to kind of try to make my own because that's what my dad was doing. So he was just like, just start, all you need is a word. Just keep on adding to it. So that's kind of how I started, like when I was 12. My first song was called Rainy Days, and I had like a little guitar. I don't know how to play guitar, keep that in mind, but yeah.
Sometimes that's how you have to be
hmm
because you won't get anything done if you never started.
Exactly.
What are some lessons you've learned working through that creative process from starting making your own songs at 12 to now writing for other people and releasing your own music?
Definitely just the overthinking for me was my biggest issue because it took me a long time to be able to finish a song. Like starting one is easy. Then, I'm putting the words down like, oh, I like this phrase, I like this phrase. How do I put them together? Oh, I want it to go in this direction, but like I don't really know how to finish the second verse per se and stuff like that. So I kind of just started to freestyle, like just have like a concrete idea in my head and just get the melody and stuff and work through it that way versus being such a stickler on, oh, this doesn't rhyme, this doesn't look like it goes here. I just flow through the whole thing and then go in and tweak it according to like my liking, or if I see a word in there that I want to incorporate, I can always just go back and reference it, versus being like, I have one sentence for this song and I don't know what else to do. So let me skip it and go to the next one.
Mhm.
You know.
You mentioned off camera that you would classify yourself as a perfectionist. In that, how do you know when a song is finished or ready to release?
To be honest, like I feel when it comes to my music, when I hear the beat, I already have the song. It's finished before I record it. That's the way I write. My biggest thing is like backgrounds, harmonies, fillers. I'm that person.
The
I'm the
details?
snack queen. I'm the okay. Let me do another. Another. So if anything, I will get lost in like the backgrounds and ad libs, and with that, it's kind of like if you could go on forever. It can never be finished. Even going back to Kanye, like Stronger,
Mhm.
that's how I feel with my songs. Like I just want to keep on tweaking it, and there's only so much you can do. I feel like once it sounds full, then it's done.
Yeah, I remember watching a Rick Rubin interview talking about him working with Kanye or Kanye bringing him in with Yeezus
Yeah.
and him saying want to strip everything because he was trying to do something so experimental because he wanted to send a message. But in that, he wanted it to translate musically and not just have to explain things. I was going to ask, you've written for other people. Is that songwriting process different for writing for yourself versus for writing for somebody else?
I mean, not necessarily. I find it easier to write for other people sometimes because the way that I go about it is I just ask them for the topic, the feeling behind it, and overall, basically what they wanted to convey. So with all of that, I have the map for what I'm gonna fill in, you know, it's easier for me to like construct it versus when I write for myself. I just flow through it, you know, and come up with it as I go because I guess I don't really have the map when I write it for myself versus with other people.
Would you say your songwriting is more self-expression or storytelling or kind of a mixture of both?
It's definitely self-expression, but within expressing myself, I do like tell stories. So it's definitely a mixture.
In the current age of the social media with the buzz of TikTok, Instagram, how do you balance that need to show your self-expression with also trying to play the game of the algorithm to get people to hear your music or have something blow up?
I mean, to be honest, like I'm just creating to express myself, and I feel like with that, as you know, market and you put yourself out there, the right people will find you according to just like being able to relate to what you're creating, or maybe they'll hear something that they're experiencing. And I feel like it's more authentic that way. I feel like it's better that way because then you don't necessarily have to worry about, oh, you know, they like this song, but they don't like this song, or putting yourself in a box where you feel like you're not able to be creative anymore because you're just trying to reach a certain demographic, you know? If it's expression, it's all encompassing, and I feel like the right people will relate to it.
Have you done any live performances?
Hmm.
What was your experience with that?
It was fun to be honest. Like me, I'm more of like a reserved kind of type of person. Like I'm kind of shy, I guess, which is something that I'm overcoming. So performing my first performance, I was so nervous. I was like, ooh. But the second one was better. You know, the third one was like, okay, this is actually like fun. And I got more comfortable like interacting with the crowd versus just trying to get through the songs and get off stage, you know. It's cool to interact, to talk to people, to ask questions and put them into your set. And I feel like that makes it a lot less nerve wracking.
Mhm.
So it's getting more and more enjoyable, I would say.
What genre would you classify your music as?
It's definitely R&B. I do incorporate like some indie sounds in there. I do have a song called Mosh Pits that's more like soft, like I guess you could say like alternative rock slash R&B.
Is the music you make similar to the music you listen to? I always like asking this because it's interesting. Because sometimes
Mm-hmm.
stuff people make and the stuff they go home and listen to are two completely different genres or things.
Mm-hmm. I listen to a lot of hip hop, but my favorite rapper is Isaiah Rashad, and I feel like he is more melodic. He incorporates a lot of like boom bap, a lot of jazz influence sounds. So if you listen to my music in the way that I structure it, you would hear that.
Mm.
But I'm not delivering it in a hip hop sense. I'm making it R&B. I'm making it my own. So yes, but no.
Do you have any long term goals when it comes to performing music or just writing? Where do you want to be?
I want to be doing it professionally. I mean, I want to be touring and writing for big name people. I want to be, I mean, everything I'm working for, everything I'm imagining, that's what I'm doing it for.
In going for that goal, what would be your next step?
Well, for now, I mean, I'm in the process of like releasing more, just interacting with people more, getting my team of people,
Mhm.
creating content that's able to kind of put me out there more so in the marketing stages, I guess you could say, or just like making sure that I'm putting myself in positions to be able to be seen.
Then what would success look like to you?
To me, success is when you are doing what you love, your lifestyle is enjoyable to you, not strenuous, not stressful, and being able to pay bills, take care of your family with the thing that you love doing. Like, I would love to be doing music and able to pay my bills and take care of my family.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Do you feel successful now?
To be honest, I kind of do. Like in a sense, I feel that at this point in my life, this is the most on track I've ever been. If that makes sense, and
Mhm.
that in itself is like success to me to a certain extent. Like it's just I see my growth. It's a short term goal. It's like accomplished. So yeah.
And if you complete enough short term goals, then all your long term goals will be completed as well.
Exactly. Hmm.
How important is growth?
I think if you're not growing, then you're dying. So very, very important.
If your art could be remembered for one thing, what would you want it to be?
I want it to be interpersonal. I want it to be something that people connect with on like an emotional level. Or, there's only a few songs that you will hear. Maybe it'll be like from your childhood or family reunions, things like that, where you'll actually have a memory attached to it. Or it'll remind you of like your grandma or something, like, or a certain time in your life. I want it to be like that. I believe that music is the soundtrack to our lives. Like I always say, my life is a movie and I get to pick the soundtrack. So I kind of want to be in the soundtrack of people's lives.
What song would you then consider your life's theme song?
It would be the instrumental to Lemonade. You know? Yeah, see, I love that. I love that so much.
All right. I always like asking this question to all my guests. What advice would you give a younger Koi?
Mm. The advice I would give my younger self would be to just my biggest issue is just overthinking. Like I missed so many opportunities. Like I restricted myself from a lot of things that I could have done or accomplished, or could have been so much further now if I just like overcame my fear and just said, "Let me think about this later," and just do it right now.
Mhm.
And then I don't know. I just that's the only thing, but at the same time, I feel like it kind of made me learning from those situations or having those experiences where I didn't do certain things or where I felt like, oh, I don't want to do this, but I'm scared, so I'm not going to do it. Because now when I see opportunities like that, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to think about it later because I've already been there, done that. And I've noticed like when you don't do it, you don't do it. You don't have nothing to show for it. There's no results. You're just stagnant. And I don't want to be stagnant anymore. I want to grow because if you're not growing, you're dying, right?
After what you done.
Yeah.
Do you have any closing words?
Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. No, I'm playing. No, I'm playing. My closing words would be, I don't know, just listen to my music. I'm enjoying the journey, so I hope that as other people see me more, interact more, listen to my music more, that they will also enjoy the journey. Live your life. Like you said, do things scared. Don't let fear stop you from accomplishing what it is that you know you want to do. This is a cool shirt. I don't know, maybe you guys want to shop. That's it.
Where can people find you?
You can find me on all streaming platforms under Koi Sway, so KOISWAY, on Instagram, TikTok, Koi.sway on TikTok, Koi Sway on Instagram.
Well, thank you, Koi, for sharing your voice, thoughts, and creativity. And as always, keep it quintessential.
Thank you for the opportunity for the interview. Woo.